the most understood topic. So you ask your neighborhood Panwala, he will have a point of view on your campaign. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Yeah, everybody has an opinion because it's very easy to talk about the output which has come. And more often than not, we are talking about the messaging or what people are communicating as the major issue. But if you cut back, if you step back as a marketer, what we seem to be focusing on, at least in today's context, is media. So all the debates, all the topics, all the things about new ways of marketing, if I observe very clearly, are talking about media. So the minute you say cost, you're talking how much do I spend on what media channel, or new way of doing it versus traditional. The difference, if I were just to boil it down to some simple things, it is about, is digital media better or traditional media better? But hey, there's a bigger story. The real deal is not about the media alone. The real deal is about what you want to say in the first place. And that should determine what your media should be. So we have to really force ourselves, and I've had to go through that many times in my career, to force myself to step back from a media perspective to a communication perspective, which is what our product or the market demands. Yeah. So you can see what I mean. I think that introduction kind of covered it. So digital marketing as of this year is dead. There's nothing called digital marketing. Does that provoke any thoughts from you? What do you guys think? Is that provoking enough? You guys think digital marketing is alive? Is dead? Some. Great. Anybody else?
It's mainstream. It's no longer something separate.
Okay, good. So, and also, keep a note on the years that I mentioned here, 1993 and 2019. Why I say 1993 is because that's the year the first banner ad was released online. Yeah, in 1994, Yahoo came into existence, and then social media much later. So that's been a transition. There's been a chaotic way in which marketing media has operated, or digital media has operated. So now in 2019, we are seeing an overload of media channels available. The potential seems immense. The result seems pretty low. Yeah, and there are still major issues about how we handle transparency, not just from a communication perspective, but also from an advertiser to media channel perspective. So what Google says it gives us, does it really give us? What Facebook says it gives us for the $100 that we might have put, is it really giving us $100 worth? We're not sure. We've got many matrices that people seem to be throwing at us and wanting us to believe that is what it is. But the question is that what it is? Is that going to make our business work? I think there's a little more to that, and for that, media will have to evolve. So, okay, let me explain that statement a little more. So, as of next year, it is stated that globally, digital marketing will be more than traditional in terms of media. So 53% would be the allocation of spend globally on digital media. So this is the first time this is going to happen, where digital media overtakes in a big way. And if I take the US data points into account, it goes by far. US is already way ahead in digital. So digital marketing as a media has taken off. So therefore, I think the point that I was trying to make is this. I don't think we should cheat ourselves by thinking that digital marketing is any different. It is mainstream marketing. There is only marketing. There is no digital marketing, there is no ATL, there is no BTL. These are lines that we've drawn to figure out how life could work. But fundamentally, the thinking is about being a marketer in the first place, and then use media and channels to distribute the messages that we have. And that is a fundamental shift in thinking. which has to come to make marketing work. So let me ask you a question. Why startup? I mean, in my time and age, the rock bands were the famous guys around. The guy with the guitar on stage was the king. He was the guy who everybody aspired to be. Or it was a pilot that young kids, at least in my peer group, aspired to be. Those are aspirations. But today's aspiration, I want to be in business. I want to be a startup. So, what is it that makes startup so iconic? Any guesses? You guys are doing it. So, any guesses? Beg your pardon? Okay.
It's multi-fold actually. First you have the racks riches stories of Patrick or Steve Jobs in the garage. First one is riches. And there is one unicorn that gets to be rich.
Right. So that's another way of looking at it. Great. Any other point of views?
Growth can be exponential.
Louder, please.
Growth can be exponential.
Growth. Okay. That leads to the point that was being said. But you grow to make money.
Technology.
Technology. Okay. So technology is helping us build more companies or more businesses around it. Anything else? That's good.
Innovations.
Huh?
Innovations.
Innovation. Okay. So you want to change things, right? You want to look at things, the same things differently. Innovations. Anything else?
It can also be the freedom to take decisions independently.
Okay? So I'll tell you what I think. Yeah? All of you are saying the same thing from my point of view. As a startup, what you guys are trying to do is phenomenal. And I don't think it's about just the money, or it's about innovation, or it's about technology. You refuse to accept the system that we accepted. And you want to change the system. That's why you're building a startup in the first place. I don't accept it. I don't accept that, the private car operators should be fleecing the customer. So I create aggregation and make it more transparent. Yeah, Uber. I have ways to find information. I don't think it should be difficult to find information. I have search. So if you look at any of the, businesses or even at retail, where Amazon or Flipkart or all those guys have come and changed, we are calling it innovation, but it's changing the system that was accepted, and we said it was okay. That's the way it works. Then you said, no, I want better. And I think I can do business around it. So like Steve Jobs wanted a new world order. I don't think computers should be clunky and difficult to handle. I want computers which should be easy to use. Let me change the system. And that's how Apple happened. So, is there a problem with the marketing system? What do you guys think? You guys are all doing some form of marketing anyway. So is there a problem with the marketing system that existed? Balance, okay?
Entry barrier is a bigger order in startup. Bigger company for
Okay. So trying to create something that is aspirational, some other big brand is doing. Yeah, here's what I think. We need change, definitely. From a marketing perspective, we are seeking ways to do things differently. But the points that are important to observe is we want to work better. We want to be able to organize our work better, because the number of instances and number of things that we have to do has exponentially changed. Earlier we had a few campaigns running at any point of time. Right now we are talking about a content overload. We are talking about campaigns once a quarter. These days the talk is content every day. So the frequency and the volume has changed. And who's going to evaluate? It's like the CMO sitting there or his team who's going to evaluate and take the boxes and say it's fine, it matches the brand and let me go ahead. And it's not just the execution, it's about planning for it in advance. So which means on hyperdrive, how do I organize content is a problem. On hyperdrive, how do I manage the media spends that I'm doing, the results that seem to be coming in, the claims that are being made, the sheer number of offers that are coming to us to participate in trade shows and to do many things. Are they being managed? I think there's a problem there. We want to find out what worked. And we want to be effective and efficient. These are the 4 or 5 points. And fundamentally, we would like more transparency. But in all of these, I don't see something that I want to change in the way I think about communication. These are more operational issues. These are more metric-driven issues. These are more left-brain, logic-driven issues. It's got nothing about insights. It's got nothing about what is the creative idea that I want to communicate. We're not talking that at all. And this is the buzz which is happening in social media, and we are thinking that, okay, marketing has to change. Where it does not have to change maybe in certain things. Unless we migrate from being a human being to a mutant. Yeah, because our needs as human beings, we are still talking to human beings, whether it's B2B or B2C, at the end of the day, we are communicating to people. Yeah, and people haven't changed, we are still human beings. We might be looking like this instead of looking like that, which we used to. Apart from that, I don't see a major difference in what we need or want. And we have not mutated into something else where the needs of Wolverine or a Xavier, Professor Xavier, is very different from a normal human being. It's not happening. Yeah? And that is the focus of marketing. Whether it is startup or big brand, does not matter. If this thought is not clear, I don't think you're really exploring the power of marketing. You're exploring the power of media only. Yeah, this is a fundamental human truth about marketing. If you're not looking for insights, you are not doing marketing. You are doing quantitative analysis, which is going to lead you to paralysis. Unless you do, add in a bit of qualitative element into it to find out what people really need or want in your category, in your segment, in the product or solutions that you're putting into the market, you won't be really doing marketing. You will be thinking reach. You won't be thinking absorption of the message. Yeah, so we as human beings, we have 2 sides to us, many sides for that matter, but broadly 2 sides. One side of it is the rational side, very logical. Yeah, so we think features, we like to analyze, we try to win arguments, we do debates, we do many things which are extremely left brain driven. And we evaluate things that we are going to buy. End of the day, it's a business transaction when we are sending out messages. So there is a left brain which is functioning to evaluate. And there is a right brain to the whole game, which our current marketing fraternity or the communication fraternity seems to be sidetracking on, which is the emotional side. While people talk about being emotional in your communication, are we trying to be really emotional? Are we really connecting to making our customers happy? Are we really triggering out humor? Are we really triggering out association through feelings that we want to communicate of using our brand or working with us? If you're not triggering that, then you might be missing out a big deal in business. Because some research on customer experiences has proven conclusively that we use logic to evaluate our decisions. We don't buy using logic. So we justify what we bought. That's where logic comes in. So you make the purchase based on feeling. I like an iPhone. I want an iPhone because it makes me look good. That's a feeling. And then you justify saying why the iPhone is better than Android. Or the Android guy will come with 1,000 other features that an iPhone will have after 3 years. But he will still buy an Android because he likes what he does, that flexibility of usage or something, some emotional connection with that brand, which is why he's buying Android. Also, it could be, the value of the product which is being bought. But fundamentally, the decision swing is around emotions. It's not about the logic alone. Correct? So when we are communicating, it's important to think both these sides through as to when we communicate to our customers and prospects. So I picked up the most corny example I could think of. And, okay, it might be taboo, but still, I picked it up. Don't worry, it's not about the usual taboo when somebody says it. I picked up smoking, okay? And I'll demonstrate how it works. So that's an ad. I mean, since I'm talking fundamental marketing, yeah, so we look at the old campaigns, really old 40s campaign. So it is about selling cigarettes, for God's sake, yeah? And the difference that they are bringing out is that it's toasted. And they are saying that be moderate in all things, smoking. This ad has been published, by the way. Yeah, I'm not just generally bullshitting. So they probably trying to find the new slot, saying cigarettes make you lose weight. Yeah, don't indulge. So you might say this is all logical, stuff that they're dishing out. But what exactly are they? What is the trigger that they're pushing? They're pushing the trigger of guilt, and it's assuming your audience in America, everybody is a smoker at that time. That's an audience, it's a given audience. And it's men. All men wanting to cut down on weight and having throat irritation because of smoking. And you notice Lucky Strike is a plain cigarette, no filters at that time. So plain cigarette without throat irritation, lose weight. That's the package that they're selling. Look at another one. This is unbelievable. You have a doctor's picture right up there. And you thought you could trust Americans. Can you? Would you trust Americans? After this, they have done this. Yeah, this kind of stuff they've done. And these are mass media, big campaigns. Yeah, smoke a fresh cigarette, and their value proposition there, their value proposition there was the packaging. Apparently it acts as a humidor and keeps the cigarette fresh. So a fresh cigarette is better than a stale one, is what they're selling. So imagine selling cigarettes on that kind of a platform, and imagine the number of brands which are there. It's complete parity. It is like potatoes. Yeah. Potatoes and not onions. Onions are expensive. Sorry, these days. Yeah, cut to the brand that made a big difference in the way advertising was handled. Yeah, this is the first time that any brand communicated from a spirit point of view. It's portraying the first iconic male stereotype being created in the world. Marlboro, yeah, the cowboy, and that imagery of the country of being a male. That stereotype got plugged into our head because of that. The Marlboro man and Marlboro country. If there's anybody you want to blame them. Yeah, that's the impression that it's created in our minds. So this is not about logic. Yeah, and this is one of the biggest brands that were built. Incidentally, how many of you guys know that Marlboro was originally a cigarette for women? It was white tipped. The filter was white tipped to avoid, but it was not white. It was darker tipped to avoid the lipstick stains. They converted it to male cigarette. Yeah, cut to. Yeah, that warning was essential. Otherwise, the government might catch you. Cut to a little earlier in the day when smoking finally became something that people should not be doing. Second-hand smoking kills, using the same imagery of Marlboro, where the horse is dead. And cut to today, 5-6 years back, where in Thailand, an agency decided to do something about playing up the guilt in people to quit smoking. Because smoking is something that you want to quit, but you never really got around to doing it. So despite knowing all the bad things about it, you tick off the boxes, you can create a checklist to say, okay, why I should not smoke, you've got 30 things. You know it, but you still won't. So what had to move? It had to be an emotional connection. That was an emotional message. And what campaign would you call it? What kind of campaign would you call it? Is it a digital campaign? We are seeing a video, which was obviously there on YouTube. It's got some lots of views. Is it a digital content? Suddenly that's the buzz which seems to be what people are picking up. How would you classify this? So how would you classify it? Is it a digital campaign? Is it an advertising campaign? Is it a promotion? What is it? Okay, more or less. Awareness, yes, but from a format point of view, since we are talking digital marketing that needs to move into mainstream, this is an integrated campaign where the brochure handout is actually like a promoters handing out offer coupons to people on malls or wherever they are, right? And the whole action has been filmed and they've taken permission for that. And they filmed it and made it a digital campaign, post that. But fundamentally, it was an activation. In the marketing terminology, it's called activation, which got live representation. So it's not digital, it's mainstream. So therefore, the point I'm trying to make is it's not what you think about your brand or business. It's about what your customers perceive you to be. So what is the image or that single point that you want to communicate very clearly, emotionally, and giving proof decides whether you become a brand really or you don't. You can still do business without being a big brand. There's no problem with that. But if the aspiration is to hit scale, if you want to grow big, if you want to cross borders, you have to think brand. You cannot run away from it. And most of the startups that I've met seem to be talking the language of, it's not the brand, I want the numbers. I want more business, I don't want the brand. And it will come, because that big question will come after you raise your Series A or Series B. That where are you going as a brand? That's where your real differentiators will come into question. That's where your customer questions will start playing an important role in how you decide to do your business. And that's where your brand comes. So if you start now, seed the thought now so that you're ready for it when it kicks in. While we might end up doing a lot of tactical stuff, which is fine, perfectly fine, to show the numbers to your VCs and do whatever we have to do. But keep the context of a brand alive. You might evolve, you might pivot, you might do many things. But at the end of it, you still stand for something. Either you stand for something or one thing, or you fall for everything that you think you want to be. And that's the way life works. And that's the way people consume messages. You stand for one thing and one thing only. You cannot stand for 10 things. Yeah? So, another little demonstration. This is a clip I had taken from the movie Inglourious Basterds. I don't know if you've seen it, but this dialogue or monologue was extremely interesting from a context of brand and how people perceive. And this is Colonel Landa, who's talking to a French guy who's sitting next to him. And this colonel is a Jew hunter. So he's talking about how Germans or the Nazis view Jews.
Consider for a moment the world a rat lives in. It's a hostile world indeed. If a rat were to scamper through your front door right now, would you greet it with hostility?
I suppose I would.
Has a rat ever done anything to you to create this animosity you feel toward them?
Rats spread disease to divide people.
Rats were the cause of the bubonic plague, but that's some time ago. I propose to you any disease a rat could spread, a squirrel could equally carry. Would you agree?
Right.
Yet I assume you don't share the same animosity with squirrels that you do with rats, do you?
No.
Yet they're both rodents, are they not? And except for the tail, they even rather look alike, don't they?
It's an interesting thought, Colonel.
However interesting as the thought may be, it makes not one bit of difference to how you feel. If a rat were to walk in here right now as I'm talking, would you greet it with a saucer of your delicious milk?
Probably not.
I didn't think so. You don't like them? You don't really know why you don't like them. All you know is you find them repulsive.
For the point, that's how we behave. We are all humans at the end of the day. If you were mutants, we might behave differently. But there is an image that is there in our minds. Rat or squirrel, you think of it from a product point of view, parity point of view, toothpaste point of view. So instead of rat and squirrel, think Colgate and Pepsi. Yeah. Instead of, you can think of any category, BMW, Mercedes. Any category, BMW, Maruti, how do you perceive? Yeah, that difference in perception is what makes brands. It's because we think about it differently. It's not what the brand is saying. It's communicating a certain message and leaving that message in our head. It's a planting which is happening. So, in the marketing world, ideas plus rationale is magic. So now with access to media and websites and access to information, which is something we never dreamt of, we can address both logic and ideas. So if somebody is looking for you, you can justify it in great detail if you wanted to. Any guesses, since we are in the subject of content loosely, what do you think, which format of content works? Long copy, short copy? Factually proven or perception? That's your perception. What if I told you on LinkedIn, the average size of content that works best is 2,800 words. That's the maximum viewed content. Maximum viewed and engaged content. 2,800 words. That's a hell of a lot. It's like an ebook written as an article. Can you imagine? It's not short form. I'll tell you where I come from. It's because copywriters are lazy. We believe short copy. You've not been able to write properly. And you're blaming people for not reading. Everybody is reading a lot of stuff. All of you guys are reading books, articles, so many elements which everybody is consuming. How can you think that short copy is better than long copy? How? Because you're finding the right stuff that you like to read in the first place. Correct? And as a brand, you want to become that like to read. That's the category you should be looking at. So the copywriters need to be better. Don't blame the consumer. Long copy. No, so that's a variable, but in general, if you want engagement, if you want people to absorb what you want to say, and you really have something very nice to say, find the best writer to do the job. He will do a damn good job of it. Yeah.
In terms of long and short, we have a Twitter, 300 words communicates everything.
That's so Twitter is the reason. Twitter and Facebook are the reason for the fake news phobia, which is correct. Do you know that on Twitter, fake news spreads on an average 25 times more faster than real news? It is researched by Twitter. Fake news. Yeah, all the propaganda that we can think of, all the nonsense that we see is fake. How many of us really check? Yeah.
So, I mean, I subscribe to long format myself. I get criticized for quality. My question there is, in this day and age where people are constantly talking about how millennials have short spans of attention, how generation Z after has even lesser span of attention, this still applies. The research actually proves.
It's today's research. Yeah, this is today's research.
Even if these generations are engaged with that.
Correct. And it's not all encompassing. It's not one statement for everything. Like I said, I qualified by saying it's LinkedIn, which means we are talking professional content. Yeah, professional stuff which people are reading and consuming, and it's related to business, and it's in some way related to some concepts. So that's what people are consuming on LinkedIn in general. Now, if I cut the same logic onto Facebook, how much can you talk about an air conditioner? There's a limit. Unless it's going to change the world. There's nothing much you can talk about.
And look at companies like Apple versus Samsung. Samsung is still selling their phones the way the old PC companies sold PCs, features, benefits, etc., etc. And it just goes on and on and on. Whereas Apple sells really the feeling. It's just, they're concise, they're to the point, they're really selling the feeling.
Correct. And that's why the price tag is what it is. Correct. So
Finance is so high. If you are able to, put the same concept in a lesser number of words and convey the same feeling, isn't that true?
very true. I didn't say blabber. Long copy doesn't mean you just write for the heck of it. So a great copywriter will write long, might write long, but will write precise words. Yeah. So he'll have very clear ideas what he wants to write. That's the difference.
I think it's somewhat like the last piece, if you were there for December releases.
Yeah.
We spoke at length for a good amount of time.
Correct.
But
Everybody
listened
was
to the
there.
entire speech
Yeah.
without pause.
So what you guys are saying, I mean, examine it from, if you hear what you're saying, you're giving the answer yourself. I'm not. Yeah, the answer is, are you relevant? If you're relevant, you'll pay attention. Are you being crisp and are you articulating very well? You will listen or you will read. There is no shortcut to that. Like, yeah.
In this time, we don't have time for anything to read. We don't have that much time that we do. It's a fast world, so we don't get.
Okay. Very good question. Very good question. Is it really fast?
Yeah, it's fast.
But I've been hearing this term for the last 30 years that I've been working. Every time, every year, it seems to be a fast word. So, 30 years I've been working. I've been in advertising. I've done great campaigns. I've heard this term. This everybody throws. Yeah. It's always a perception of everything seems to be moving fast. Yeah, okay. But if you're relevant, you will find the time. It's not about time, everybody has 24 hours. It's about how do I maximize the opportunity? How can I provoke you to listen to me? Like the presentation, you might have, when I started, you might have been wanting to go to sleep. But I provoked you. Isn't digital marketing is dead? It's a provocation, right? Yeah, okay, what do you want to say? Yeah, you provoke, you inspire. Those are, again, emotions which you target at people, the right message, executed brilliantly. Length of copy does not matter if these three boxes are ticked. I think by saying, judging that copy size is what matters, is cheating oneself. It doesn't matter. If these three boxes are ticked, it's fine. The call should be on quality, not on quantity. Yeah, so the discussion is not really about, should we be advertising? Is it a reserved spot only for big brands? So only, a Merck or a BMW or a Unilever brand can advertise, or can the mom and pop store downstream can advertise? There's no question about it. If you want to reach people, if you want to communicate your message and get more business, you have to advertise and you have to reach. You cannot run away from that. So the debate which is happening online and the buzz which everybody is talking about, which I started with, is about where to advertise. Is AdWords better? Is SEO better? Is Facebook better? Is YouTube better? Is Twitter better? Should I be doing it all? Or should I be doing only one? How should I be using it? Should I be doing video? Suddenly the new blue-eyed boy seems to be video. Hey, let's not cheat us. We've been brought up on television. We've seen so many commercials in our life. We've been bombarded throughout our lives with advertising messages. Video? No-brainer, of course. What's the big deal about it? Of course, it's the audiovisual medium that is more engaging, correct? You love it. It gets you. So it's not about all those, it's not about the buzzwords. We shouldn't be focusing on the buzzwords. We should be focusing on our objective, as to what we want to achieve. And with the budgets that we have, the limitations that we have, how can we maximize it? And maximize it to strike emotionally and rationally. That's the thinking, and that requires hard thinking. You guys have already thought through your business and product and your market and all. You've thought a lot about what you're doing. The same head has to use that same thinking into marketing. Unfortunately, in startups, I work in one as well. It is dependent on the person who's driving it. You cannot run away from it. Either is the CEO, or if there's a CMO, it is the CMO. You can't delegate it. Because there's no room to delegate. It's flat. So you better up your socks and start really thinking and filtering out. I think your job is more to filter out the white noise. There's too much of noise about things that seem to be great. It's not. Please, take my word for it. 90% of the things which are coming our way, in terms of saying this works or that works, is bullshit. Seriously. So here's a small exercise that you can do. When you watch ads, try put an emoticon to it. If you can't, reject the ad. However well, logically, somebody might be explaining it. If there is no emotional connect, the ad does not work. Simple trick to evaluate your own campaigns. Can you put an emotion to it? Think from a customer's point of view. Correct? Simple. Of course, before asking for a larger logo, which we clients are very famous for. So I decided to take this approach of believe it or not. Yeah? How many of you have heard of or read of Ripley's? Show of hands? Okay. That's good, about 50%. Yeah, so believe it or not, do you think they are facts or fiction? Can't hear. True or false? When you read it, did you believe that it was true or was it fake? True. Okay. But the way it is phrased, it could be borderline. But the way Robert Ripley started his Believe It or Not cartoon series was by examining and deep dive. His business model was basis finding out astonishing things that people are doing, researching it and factually validating it. So that is why it is astounding things which you won't believe if you hear it. So, for example, take the dress worn by Marilyn Monroe, $4.8 million. Zap value. So the Americans, 33% of the Americans believe they are Irish. Astounding fact, but that's more than the population of Ireland. Yeah, this animal, the moose, grows its antlers by an inch in summer, every day. Yeah, unbelievable. You wouldn't have thought about it. Yeah, similarly there are some more, so I'll skip this one. So therefore, this I created. And you will see similar memes floating around. Yeah, everything you see on the internet. That's what which is why fake news is happening. Or believe we are gullible. Yeah, but it's not. Don't believe. So I decided to use that model to bust some myths or give you a question. So you will notice the difference. Believe it or not, in the actual believe it or not is an exclamation, which means it is fact. Surprise. I am using it with a question mark. Yeah? It's a question. So you guys tell me whether you believe it or you don't. Do you think it's a fact or fiction? Okay? So here goes. Pure digital marketing is enough. So like you guys were saying, our audience is on digital media, right? And therefore, it will deliver. Fact, fiction. Answers, please. Louder, louder. Fiction. Any more answers?
It depends. Depends on the marketing product.
Depends. Interesting answer. Louder, please.
Whom we are targeting, we should know. Our product, whom we are targeting. Our customers.
Who you are targeting. Okay, so here goes. Would you put all your eggs in one basket? Regardless of who you are targeting. If that basket breaks, you're gone. Correct? Whether you swing it traditional or you swing it digital or whatever. I think there's a card. What you need to build as a brand or business is you want awareness. Everybody seems to be, there's no doubt about it. How do I reach people? How do I build awareness? There's no doubt. Yeah? But on the other side, I want to establish credibility. Like credibility, what do your customers believe in credibility? How do you get that from just digital or one media alone? You don't need PR, you don't need people to do the thing, you don't need the customers to talk about you, you don't need traditional advertising, which is more believable than digital anyway. It doesn't matter where your audience is, isn't it? So somewhere you will need a mix. You will have to look at that, you will have to think about the mix as to what is valid for your business or your budgets. Are we running short? Okay. So the second one, search engine marketing is all it takes to make it. Fact, fiction.
Fiction.
Okay? And enter. Search engine marketing is not about search. It's about people and their intent. Yeah, you're marketing to intent. You're being present where the intent is there to find you, and thereby it becomes relevant. So look for intent. Don't look at Google as search engine marketing. If you start thinking that way, it's a guarantee, I'm telling you. My experiences with the guys that I work with. The way you look at keywords will change completely. The approach that you will take towards search will change. And it will change your view of what channels you go. Search is not restricted to just search engine. People are these days searching on Amazon, which is the second most popular search engine. You know Google is number one. What is number two? Amazon is there in the list, but it's not. No. That's the rank. It's YouTube, which is number two. Should tell you a hell of a lot about what people are searching for. Yeah? And how they are searching for it, and what kind of content they are consuming, what kind of information they are seeking. YouTube is the world's second largest search engine. and you can advertise on YouTube using Google itself. Yeah? So don't miss that bus. If you have budgets to build content, look at YouTube, definitely. And YouTube is not like Facebook where it plays silent videos. Yeah? People play the damn thing. They really watch it. so it is not silent movies. It's not Charlie Chaplin like Facebook. Yes, SEM. Okay, so quickly two, three things on keywords. How many keywords is good enough? Some of the questions which I normally get. Yeah, it depends. It depends on a category, competition, context, the buzz which is happening, the conversations which are happening, and the authority that you have. It could be 5, 15, 150, 1500, 2000. It depends what you want to go after. Yeah, and you build it sequentially. So don't get restricted when somebody tells you, okay, only 10 keywords can be optimized. Sorry. 100 keywords can be optimized. Okay, so here's what I'll do. Okay, I'll show you one viral marketing campaign. There was a question I had, believe it or not. Doing a viral used to be a brief. Yeah? Is it really worth a brief? So here's an example of a startup, a long back, which did viral marketing.
Will it blend? That is the question. I love my new iPad. It does a ton of cool things, but will it blend? That is the question. Doesn't quite fit in a jar, but I can take care of that. I knew I could get the iPad and the BlendTech Total Blender. I think I'll press the iBlend button. Pad smoke. Don't breathe this. That was one tough pad.
This guy is not a model. He's the CEO of the company. And that was shot on a regular camera in front of him. And this has been their campaign for the last 20 years. And that's all they do. They're featured in BBC, they're featured everywhere. Just check BlendTech, you will see. You want a simple way to be contextual? Will it blend? Yeah, it does.